5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start. There is a unique charm in the process of observing nature that continues to captivate the minds and hearts of individuals across the world. One might spend hours under the open sky, listening to the sounds of birds, watching the rustling of leaves in the wind, or observing the steady flow of a river. These simple moments offer a deep sense of peace and connection that no man-made invention can replace. The more we engage with the natural world, the more we come to understand our own place in it. It becomes clear that the world is not merely a backdrop for human activity but a complex and living entity of which we are only one part. From the tall trees that stand silently in forests to the smallest insects crawling on the ground, every element in nature plays a role in maintaining balance. The tree does not simply exist for shade or timber. It cleans the air, supports wildlife, stores carbon, and holds soil in place. The bird does not only entertain with its song, but also helps in pollination and insect control. Even the weeds that people often remove from their gardens are part of a larger ecological system. They provide food for certain species and prevent erosion in many cases. When one sees nature through this lens, it becomes hard to view it as something that exists for human consumption alone. People often forget this truth as they rush through modern life, surrounded by concrete buildings, traffic, and digital screens. Time is spent more on devices than with the wind, more on apps than on animals, more in air-conditioned rooms than under the open sky. This shift has led to a kind of disconnect, not just from nature but also from oneself. Human beings were not designed to live entirely indoors, breathing filtered air and avoiding sunlight. The body and mind thrive in natural settings. Research has repeatedly shown that spending time in green spaces improves mental well-being, reduces stress, and boosts creativity. The challenge arises when this natural world is not given the respect and care it deserves. Forests are cleared to make way for factories, rivers are polluted with chemicals, and the sky is filled with smoke from vehicles and industries. The very systems that support life are being degraded in the name of development. Progress should not mean destruction. True progress lies in creating a world where technology and nature can coexist, where the future is sustainable and the environment is protected. It is important to consider the role of education in shaping the attitudes of the younger generation towards nature. A child who grows up learning the names of birds, planting trees, or hiking in the mountains is likely to develop a deeper appreciation for the environment than one who learns only from textbooks. Schools and parents can work together to ensure that children are exposed to the natural world in meaningful ways. A walk in the park, a visit to a forest reserve, or even a session of gardening at home can have lasting effects on how a child perceives the environment. Moreover, policy makers have a crucial responsibility. Laws and regulations must be implemented to protect natural resources and prevent exploitation. It is not enough to hold meetings and sign papers if action is not taken on the ground. Waste management, forest conservation, and wildlife protection are not issues that can be postponed. The longer these problems are ignored, the harder it will be to reverse the damage. What is required is a sense of urgency and accountability. Citizens too must play their part. It is not always about making grand gestures. Even small acts like reducing plastic use, conserving water, planting trees, and supporting eco-friendly products can make a significant difference. The sum of these small actions, when multiplied across communities and nations, can lead to a powerful transformation. Another important aspect is the role of traditional knowledge in environmental conservation. For centuries, many communities lived in harmony with nature, relying on time-tested practices that ensured sustainability. They knew when to harvest, how to store food, and how to respect the land. Their methods, though often dismissed as outdated, contain valuable insights. One must also reflect on the spiritual connection many cultures share with nature. Mountains, rivers, trees, and animals are often considered sacred in different traditions. This reverence for nature fosters a sense of responsibility. When one sees the earth not as a resource, but as a relative or a teacher, the attitude towards it changes. There is gratitude instead of greed, care instead of consumption. Climate change has made it impossible to ignore the consequences of environmental neglect. Rising temperatures, melting glaciers, extreme weather events, and declining biodiversity are all warnings from the planet. These are not distant threats but present realities that affect food security, water availability, health, and livelihoods. Yet, there is still hope. Across the world, there are individuals and groups working tirelessly to protect the planet. Farmers adopting organic methods, scientists developing clean technologies, artists raising awareness, and youth leading climate movements all point to a growing consciousness. This wave of awareness must be nurtured and supported. The time has come to rethink the way we live, produce, and consume. The question is not whether nature can survive without humans. It certainly can and has done so for millions of years. The real question is whether humans can survive without nature. The answer is clear. To walk barefoot on grass, to watch the sunrise, to hear the ocean waves, and to feel the rain on one's skin are not luxuries. These are experiences that remind us of our roots, our connection, and our dependence on the planet. As we move forward, let us carry with us not just the knowledge of the world but also the wisdom to protect it. Let us not wait for another disaster to wake us up. Let us begin today, in our own lives, to walk gently on this earth. Stop.